More Money Now is a business development approach that I started using when I was 21 years old, and I've been using it my entire life without even realizing that that's what I was doing. I was able to figure out how to pull this experience together when I realized the limitations of how to programs and that copying someone else doesn't work. The challenge then is, how do you find your own way through? And that's what the More Money Now approach is all about. It's about being yourself, finding your own way, and being successful in the economy in a way that suits you, where you don't have to compromise anything in terms of your own freedom, satisfaction, and happiness. So the approach is really about figuring out product market resonance. That's what you need to be able to do. Any successful entrepreneur who knows that success is inevitable has gotten product market resonance, where everybody knows what you've got in your marketplace, and you know before you even see any results. The pathway to get there is really simple. It's to start with product, connect with the right people, ask so you know what's going on, schmooze so you deepen the connection, and then next, which is move forward in iterative motion. The result of using a More Money Now approach like this is a feeling of acceleration and no longer feeling like you've got to look at the metrics and the results all the time or do things that don't fit you and the kinds of things that you don't like to do. The learning approach for More Money Now is more about unlearning. I did this naturally. I have an ability to parachute without a parachute into a new marketplace. I call it running into burning buildings or jumping in the deep end of the pool into the icy water before knowing what's going on in that building or in the icy water deep end of the pool. Not everybody has that. If you have a natural ability to do this, you're probably already doing it. Or, like me, you got steered off course by the influencer economy gurus. So the issue I had was I already knew how to do what I needed to do. But in 2020, in the summer, I discovered this economy of gurus with 5 or 7 step programs. And I started thinking, well, I don't know what I'm doing and they know what they're doing. And that turned out not to be the case. So unlearning what you've learned about lead generation, sales, prospecting, marketing, how to succeed, how to get clients, how to build the business, where to build it, and all of those things becomes the work in terms of the learning approach. At least that's how it was for me. So what do results look like in the context of More Money Now? So the idea is the stepping stones. So a constant stream of successes and a constant stream of failures are not the stepping stones in my experience. The stepping stones is to move into a condition or a feeling of what I call prosperity. The feeling of prosperity is a feeling of success being inevitable. And that comes from clarity, confidence, and certainty that within the marketplace, you're feeling a deepening resonance and a connection that is consistently over time getting deeper and deeper and deeper with the right people in the marketplace, meaning the people you want to be around, and that they are on a trend line and you are coming in to surf a trend that's happening in the marketplace. Great business developers are not lead generators. Business development is not the front end of a sales process. That's being a strategic development representative there in a sales organization to do biz dev. But that's not really what it is. Business development is a creative act. It's noticing in a marketplace what's going on, seeing the big waves that others miss because they're already successful in that marketplace often and not paying attention, or they're not successful and they're constantly in fear of not having success. So they're chasing after clients. And you want to escape that dynamic and be fully yourself within that marketplace, noticing what's going on so you connect with other people who are also resonating with the kinds of things you're seeing. Oops. What does success mean? Success does not mean what someone tells me success means for me. So I see a lot of people on social media, influencers, that tell me success is a $100 million company. I see people who define success as a $20 billion company. I see people who define success as happiness or satisfaction or freedom. I see people define success in all kinds of ways. Being fit, not being fit, not working hard or working hard. It's not important. What matters is knowing what I want, and that's it. I define my own success, and if I adopt success definitions from others, I'm going to be in trouble because I might just succeed following them, and I'm not going to want it when I get it. One of the definitions of success for me is no compromise. So the idea is, if I have to do things that lead to an output that I define as success, and I don't want to do those things, I have to keep doing them to keep that success going. So part of More Money Now in defining success is that you're thinking about only doing things that you would want to continue doing to get success, or at least have a pathway forward out of doing some things you don't want to be doing. And that's possible too. One of the table stakes to being successful with More Money Now is not becoming attached to results and outcomes that are measurable. Prosperity is a feeling. As the feeling of prosperity expands inside, because you have more clarity, confidence, and certainty, will know your success is inevitable because you can see the product market fit coming. And then as that deepens, you know you got there. And then there's no doubt anymore. You don't need faith when you have no doubt. And there are moments where you get to no doubt, where there is no doubt. But there's doubt for a really long time. The delayed gratification approach is to recognize the feeling inside is real. And the product market fit, as it gets deeper and deeper because you find your people, is the answer. Not how many likes you get, how many comments, how much money, how big's your pipeline, or how small your pipeline is, because you're valuing it. It's not about the analytics. It's not about the outcomes at the business development stage. It's about the feeling, the knowing that you're going in the right direction because you feel that sense of prosperity. The barrier for most people is trusting the prosperity feeling. Some people are so lost that they can't trust anything that's going on inside them. And they measure everything in their life based on what they see coming back to them in terms of feedback. In other words, millions of people following you and treating you like a god. That's the extreme example of this. But the idea of standing at the top of social media mountain with all of these followers and needing that to trust yourself, that what you want is already part of your life, you just haven't gotten all the results yet, won't happen if you're paying attention to somebody else's external measurement or even your definition of those external measurements without paying any attention to the feeling of prosperity inside you. So getting money ends up being about simplification. And simplification is through experimentation. So getting to the success you want means practicing these More Money Now approaches and not copying me. And I will never say to do it like I did because it won't work for you because you're not me. And it's not because I'm some type of special person. It's because I'm a different person. So every individual is the one who has to figure out what are the simple disciplines that you're going to practice every day. And you'll learn as you go through product, connect, ask, schmooze, and next, how to identify those disciplines. And as you feel that product market fit starting to come together, it's all you want to be doing anyways, because you'll be having so much fun doing those things. There is a price to pay, and that is chasing has to end. The idea of I don't have it and I must have it has got to go. And there's no special mind tricks to get to that. It's a matter of replacing the fear with a feeling of prosperity through doing things, motion, action, and motion that fit you and who you are. That's all you have to do. And if you're doing that, you're not chasing money anymore. And you'll see, because you'll feel it, not see through your eyesight, you'll see through your feeling that you're going in the right direction. And you'll no longer be one of these desperate people online trying to get people to like their post, or going to networking events trying to get people to buy your stuff, or feeling like you have to, as teenagers say today, glaze your donut. So glazing is either sucking up to the teacher in their language or trying to become popular. It's possible to chase success and get it, but it doesn't work ever by definition, because if it's really success, it's a feeling of prosperity, and a feeling can't be chased. It can be experienced, but you can't chase the feeling of prosperity. All you can do is experience the feeling of prosperity, because you're connecting deeper into yourself and your marketplace in a way where things are coming together. And I don't care how big the success is, $100 million success, $500 billion success. It's still not prosperity in terms of the feeling, because that person got what they thought they wanted, but they got it through force of effort, chasing and getting an answer from a place where answers can't be found. Now, this is hard to explain, so I'm not going to get too deep into it here. This is more red pill pathway kind of stuff. So I'm going to have videos, 5 videos on the 5-step method, and then I'm going to be recording videos showing this method being used in action. And then within the virtual campus, we have a daily meeting around More Money Now, and I'm going to try to record some of those and broadcast some of that as well, so anybody can take advantage of it. Product, connect, ask, schmooze, and next are very simple, but simplification is challenging. Simplification will require you to stop working and start connecting with yourself, and then get into action in the marketplace, notice what's going on, regroup back in the bunker. So you may want to start some kind of a daily practice of a check-in with yourself around this, or ideally create a team where you're doing it together. And I can't stress that enough. That's probably the most powerful way you can do this. So what's a product? It's a what, a who, and a why. Don't start with what will work. Don't think about what will sell. Don't be concerned with what the trend is. It's not important. You're never going to be an original chasing a trend. You're chasing results. You're never going to be an original copying someone's how-to method. This is not a how-to method. A how-to method would be copy how I did it. You are not going to do this the way I did it. And I'm not going to do it the way you do it. Because even if you're successful, it's your approach. So product, what, who, and why. The video will explain that in detail. You start with what is it, who's it for, why does it matter to them, not what will work, but what you want, what resonates with you. And then connect. You got to be out in the world somehow. How? There's a million ways. I'm not going to tell you the way. It's not about networking or social media or posting or talking to people or using your family network. It's not about any of those things. It's about whatever elements of those things you want to do. And you're going to want to do them because they fit you. And because you have the product right, you're going to know you've got something. So you don't have to sell it. You don't have to show up glazing your donut and trying to get people to buy anything because you're no longer chasing money. You're you. And you're coming out with clarity, confidence, and certainty, trying to, through experimentation, figure out where the fit is based on other people's perception. Your perception's good, but you're still testing it and saying, is this really what I want? Connect is how to do it now and fast. I use the calendar. You can use whatever method you want. The key is consistency, but within the consistency, you don't have to force yourself to make 100 calls a day unless you want to make 100 calls a day. Sometimes I've made one call that led to $1 million business. In other cases, it's been 100 calls a day because I liked doing it then. I won't do that anymore. I don't even network anymore, but I networked for years. So there's different ways to do this. The key is how to do it, meaning you're doing something now, doing it now, and you're going fast. Iterative action in motion is how works. You don't need to know how you're going to do anything. When you're doing things fast, in motion, in the marketplace, it will work or not work. That's your experiment. And you're looking and saying, how does this feel? Do I want to be doing this? Do I not want to be doing this? How does it feel for them? What happens when I'm connecting? Are they ignoring me or are they running away from me? Okay, well, I'm not changing for them. I'm changing for me because my product's lined up and I know this is right for me, but I just haven't calibrated it yet with the marketplace. So ask is clear, concise, and firm. You don't need an elevator message. You don't need a pitch. You don't need a segment. You don't need an avatar. You don't need any marketing. Marketing gets in the way. Marketing's glazing the donut, and usually it's a team. There's a team doing it. I wrote a book on this in 2018 for my virtual company that I started. It's a sales outsourcing lead generation company and has a lot of marketing components. We had a whole team of people doing these things, glazing donuts for our clients, basically, to get people to buy from them because they hired us to force results. And we did it. And it can work. But it didn't work for me because I don't want to do that anymore. Now, if you want to force results and you like that, you should do it if it's working. So your ask approach will be a little different than someone who's going to do it in a different way. But the principles are the same. You just have to know what you've got. If you know what you've got, you can be clear about how you explain it because you know why it matters and who it's for. You don't need an elevator message. You just need to understand yourself, why you matter to a specific group of people. Concise is don't confuse them. Be clear about what it is in a concise way using simple language without any jargon. And be firm of saying, I got something valuable. I know it's valuable. And here's why it's valuable. And you don't have to say it like that. They'll know because you know. So they'll believe you because it's true. Schmooze. This does not mean getting people to do what you want. It doesn't mean building a pipeline. It means you have empathy. So empathy is a self-awareness that not everybody is comfortable with you and maybe projecting onto you their own fear and belief systems. Empathy of recognizing, wow, we're just human beings here. We're trying to figure it out. Let's see if we connect and resonate with each other, or maybe we don't. You don't have to figure it out. Just have it. You don't have to act with empathy. You have to be empathy. You have to have empathy. That's an inner work kind of condition of realizing you're freeing yourself from your self-absorption. Attentive means you're out in the marketplace paying attention to what's going on with the other person. So you're watching them. You're not compromising your product or your connect method or even your ask approach. But still, being attentive to them is the only way to get deeper resonance. And directed means you're directing the resonance. You don't have to use sales approaches. You're not directing with a sales approach. It's not necessary. You don't need any sales approaches. What you need is directing the resonance. In other words, coming together around a shared desire. Let them have their vision. Don't talk somebody out of their vision. Meet them where they are. Explain your vision, which you better know from the product work, or if you don't know, this is an iterative circle. I didn't get here overnight. I've been doing it since I was 21 years old. And in every marketplace, I didn't get there on day one, but usually by month 2 or 3, I was starting to make money. And in some cases, it took longer because I had a bigger vision. So it depends on where you're at with your vision in terms of how long it's going to take to make money. But you've got to be directed in your relationship approach where you're not selling, you're not glazing the donut, you're coming in with confidence because you are confident. You're not using a how to get confidence method. You are confident because you've figured out what matters for you and them. Next is speed, focus, results. Speed means I'm here because, not because, don't try to be a fake friend. I see some people teaching this. Go back to every friend you've ever met and try to get them to be in your pilot program or whatever. No, speed means I'm here to do something. I'm focused on it and I want results. Where are you? So when you're talking to somebody, whether it's through a chat, you're in a group together, whether it's networking, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Reddit or Substack or X, it doesn't make any difference. Whether you're talking to them or chatting with them, whether you're in a Discord group with a group of people, it's who are we to each other? Are you my client or am I your client? What do you think? I'll ask people, do you think I'm going to buy this from you? I do it at Ask, clear, concise, and firm, but I'll go to next too. I say, are you thinking I should buy your program? And they'll tell me, and I'll say no, or I'll say yes, or I'll say maybe, or I'll say something, or I'll say, well, maybe we're more like partners. Or I'll say, I think you should buy my stuff. And I do that all the time too if I believe it. So next is speed, focus, results. Now there's a lot to this, so I don't want to overwhelm you. You'll have time to go through all these videos and the supporting videos and start to get to this in your own way through practice. So the most important thing is just start doing it. Temporary relief is the biggest issue. Temporary relief is what's being sold in the guru economy. What they're selling is relief. They're selling to pain. So what they're doing is they're up on a big stage and they're looking for people. This is the marketing. They're looking for people that have a pain point. They'll teach this too. So this is true. You know this is true. And then they want to amplify the pain point. One guy calls it a bleeding hole in the neck. You want to find the bleeding hole in the neck. That's temporary relief. So they're coming at you with relief of a magic pill. I call it the blue pill, not the red pill, the blue pill. 5 steps to this, 7 steps to that, or a magic doohickey you can put up on your website to automatically increase conversions. And that's a quote from one of the people that teaches this, one of the top gurus in the direct response marketing field. They're trying to get temporary relief customers. If you're a temporary relief buyer, you're never going to succeed. You just feel better. But nothing will dramatically change unless that placebo effect of feeling better leads you to do the kind of stuff I'm talking about here. So you feel better, so now you're out exploring. And that will lead to success if you do that. But feeling temporary relief violates the principle here of delayed gratification. So beware of marketers. Wait, where am I? Inner journey. This is always an inner journey. Now, I'm not saying you have to go for full inner realization or self-actualization or something. What I'm saying is you have to pay attention to yourself. And the courage comes often, I find, with people through this product. So you know what you got's good. For some people, the courage comes from connect because you realize wow, I'm really good at this connect method. I like it. And other people will notice that. Sometimes the courage comes from ask, where people are like, wow, that was a fun conversation. We really got to know each other, didn't we? We established resonance. Yeah, we schmooze. Oh, we got deepened into a shared desire. Wow, now you have confidence because you feel like within my marketplace, I can get resonance with people and I can get to schmooze, which is a shared desire. What's next? Don't worry if they buy or not. That will come. They will buy, though, when you line up this pathway with who you are in the right place for the right reasons. If you do that, success is inevitable because you will be coming from a feeling of prosperity. That's why. So, how do you start? Prosperity comes from the inner journey. That's how you're going to get there. So, how do you start right away? Fill up your calendar and interact with everybody. Now, if you're not a calendar person, do it through chats in social media platforms or Discord communities or wherever you go. Mighty Networks communities, if they're busy, a lot of them aren't. A lot of these things are graveyards. But if you can find an active Facebook group, interact. But don't chase money. They'll know. They'll know. You'll know. And you may get it and then not want it because you're going to attract people in pain. And then you have to hang out with them. It's better to attract people where there's resonance and deepen the resonance with the schmooze approach, which is just deepening resonance around a shared desire and saying, hey, we have a shared desire here. Can we do something together? And talk about what you've got and talk about what they've got and stick to your guns. You get to a point where you're like, I don't need any more friends. I just need clients. Then just say that. Like I don't network anymore. People buy from me. That's how it works for me. You just tell the truth. Write and post as much as possible. Record and share without hesitation. That's the quick start. You got to get out there and do it. So in the next video, I'm going to get more detail in step 1 product. And the most important thing with product is your product is based on knowing what you're doing. It's not based on copying somebody else. And you'd be amazed how many people have made millions of dollars and have no idea what they're doing, but they're great at marketing. And you can go down that route. But I think for them, there's often a feeling of something missing because I know a lot of those people. And I've spent time in my life with people who've made billions of dollars or millions of dollars. And they'll tell you, wow, I didn't really know what I was doing in my life, even though I became really successful. And that should be a cautionary tale for you. If you want to do this more money now approach, this is designed to be a way out of that, but also a way to make more money now.